Let's start today's session. Yeah. So I hope you have completed this thing. Have you completed this? I asked you to complete this part. Have you done this or not? Subtraction and other things. All of you. Can you please respond? Hello?
No, we'll try.
Okay. So this part I asked.
Are you sharing this?
Yeah, I'm sharing screen now. So this part I ask you to complete. Addition I have done 146, and I have asked you to complete about this. So what was there? What things you had to complete? That is nothing but you just need to write code over here, over here, over here. Right? Now, today we will see a day 62. Adding new elements to the DOM. Adding new elements to the DOM. Let's have index01.html. And here we can say app01.js. In the here HTML5, adding elements. Okay, so I will not add any CSS right now. In the main, this is an empty div I will have, and in another div I can have input box, or we'll do something, this thing, adding elements. Okay. Here const array, and in this array I would need Android, Apple, Google, then IBM, few company names I have written over here. Android is not a company name, I'm sorry, but let's keep it as it is. So this is the for loop. What we need to do, I want to get the unordered lists. What is unordered list? Can you please tell me? What is an unordered list? What is an unordered list? Hello?
List with bullet points.
What's that?
List with bullet points, basically.
Yeah, correct. List with the bullet points or the numbers. So here you can say li Android, right? Then Apple, Android, Apple, Google, IBM. I think I'm wrong with this spelling. And here you can say li. Right? If you open this, reveal in Finder, can you see, you can see the list over here. But I have this list in an array. I have this list in an what? JavaScript array, and I want this array to add this list. Dynamic list. Presently, 5 things are there, and it might be possible that there are few more things in the future. Few more things would be getting added into this array in the future. So how do you do that? That's the question. Again, you need to take a help of document object. See now how? See now how? So let's keep this as it is in one section. So in this section, a static data would be there, and in another section, let's create the another section. This should create the dynamic data. So I will delete all these things. Okay, I will just keep empty ul, and I will assign id. I will assign what? id, and name it as companies. Ul comp means ul companies. Now here what I can do, first load the script src, and here you can say app01.js. and app01.js. Now what? Now how do you add it? How do you add the details over here? So I will write a function add ul items, or I will use arrow function, so that whatever we have seen, all that things would be used. This is an arrow, no problem. Add ul items. Add ul items. Yeah, recording is on. So if you want to add something into this, first you need to find out this. So here I can say const ul is equals to, this name can be anything, no problem. Const ul is equals to document dot get element by id, and this guy ul comp, because we need to fetch that into the script, right? Yesterday we have seen JavaScript gives you access to the loaded HTML by means of JavaScript gives the access to the HTML by means of the document object. This we have seen in the last session, right? Now there is something called as, so this is the ul document dot, so far we have seen get element by id. Similarly, we can have create element also. Name of the element is li. So here I can say const li. This name can be anything, but this should be li. This should be id that you have given in HTML. This should be li. And here I can say li dot text content, and here I can say Android. So new element have been created in JavaScript, some text data has been added to that thing, and now ul dot append child, or just append this li, right? ul dot append this li. Now simply call this function, but this is a bad. Directly calling this function like this is a bad. We will see when we learn about events, we will see where exactly we need to call this. And go here and refresh it. Can you see Android has been added? Can you see that? Android has been added, and that has been added by purely means of this code. Now, if you want to add just li like this much code you need to write. Need of React.js. This is the need of React.js. Okay. Now see, if you iterate this in the for loop, means this, if you do something like this, li1, 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 and if you do this thing once again, and you can say li2, 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 Google, and if you refresh it, can you see, you will find the Google, which means that if you write this code in a for loop, if you write this code in a for loop, automatically that much number of elements would be getting generated, right? Hello? arr dot for each. This element is nothing but the company, arrow, and this code. Write this code, right? And refresh it. And instead of this static Android, you can add company and refresh it. Can you see? The data now is coming from array. For example, if you add ABC, if you add PQR, those things also would be added automatically. How? You have written the code. Now, what is new thing over here? A document object. Rest of the things we have seen in detail. What do you mean by for each, filter, map reduce, right? And this is the thing, create element, which is pretty descriptive. What it does, it creates new element, it adds text content to this li, the way you add, this is the text content, this is the text content, this is the text, this is the first you will create the li, first you will create the empty li like this, document dot create element li, and into that you will add the text content. So here you created the empty li, sorry, in a loop you have created the element li, and you have added things to it, correct?
This part somehow I'm not able to understand. Like, can you go back to HTML? I'll just explain.
Yeah.
No, the other file. Yeah. So here, like, we have just statically added the list first, right? Under section.
Correct, this section. Let me collapse that.
Second one is link section where we have unordered list and ID of it.
ID, correct.
Okay. Now go back to the JS file. So here in this one, we have created an array, basically object array.
Correct.
There is like just files are there, basically, or companies are there.
Correct.
Okay. Now we create another variable like add UI item.
Yeah, this is the function.
That's a, yeah, this is a function like the empty function, and then we are creating. Okay, first thing we are getting that particular element UI com. UL com.
Which line? Line number you can tell me?
12.
Correct.
right? We are getting that particular element, and then example,
This element you are getting
element after that.
here. So
On row number 15, we are creating an element.
yeah, new element. Correct.
New element. Okay. First thing, so under that particular group, under that particular ID only, we are creating this element. List
Correct.
element.
List elements. Correct.
Then li dot text content is equal to company. Where this company is coming from? Because we have constant
See
dot
here.
ARR only.
Here. Can you see variable name company?
But okay, ARR for each, and then okay, then company. Okay.
This variable name can be anything.
Okay, got it. From there, okay, for each you have just written. Okay. What was that prior to for each?
It was nothing. Just this was outside. This was a single thing. Before.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If there is no for each example, so how li dot text content is equal to company or any value
So here,
that is linked to
yeah.
const ARR.
See now,
Or you
ARR
will be
dot
writing in that case. Okay.
0. If you want to add a second item, again you need to create these 3 lines of code, ARR of 1, right?
Right.
Similarly like this, li1, li1.
Okay, you just created a for loop and then added from there.
And then here
Now I got it.
you got it, right? li2,
Yeah,
li2 and first element of array. So instead of
I
repeating this,
got it.
yeah, instead of repeating this, JavaScript says that use for loop.
And I was not able to establish the connection. Now I got it. Okay.
So each element in the array, each element, let me revise the for each. Each element in the array is represented by this variable name. That can be anything. So at the 0th iteration, company will represent Android. At the first iteration, company will represent Apple. At the second iteration, company will represent Google. And that's what we are doing. So until the elements are there in an array, it is go on appending the selected element. Can you see this is the selected element? Correct? Hello? Hello?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Any question?
No.
This is clear, right? Adding elements we have seen. What we have seen? Adding new elements. Correct? So readme.md. Adding new elements. There is nothing fancy in the DOM. Once you learn the HTML, CSS and JavaScript, this is not a new thing, right? What is new thing over here? This is just calling one function like writing console.log. You're writing document.getElement by ID, or you are writing document.createElement, right? Now let me create one more index02.html, new app02.html, HTML5, applying CSS. Applying what? Sorry, app02.js. HTML5. Applying CSS. So here we have main and here we have div. So I can say style width 200 pixels, height 300 pixels or 300 pixels by 300. Deliberately I am writing style tag just to revise the concept of the style. And background color we can say red. Correct? Hello? Now input type button we have, and well, we are going to see in this detail events at the time of events, but whenever you click this button, this on click would be whatever function you write in this function btn. You can write arrow clicked like this, and here I can say btn clicked. Okay, this function would be getting called. So when you click on this button, and name of the button is change 02, and if I click on this change now, the button color should change. Button color should what? Change. So let's give one id dv. id is dv, so const dv is equals to document dot get element by id dv, and now see dv dot, I want to change color to the red, dv dot style dot, can you see, I can add a style over here. All the styles that you can write, can you see, background color, background image, all that things. Background color should be, now I will use math dot random class, I hope you remember, and 256. So it will generate a color. So this number will return, math dot random will return any number between 0.0 to 1.0, and to that number you are multiplying to 256. So resultant number would be always lesser than 256. I mean, this code generate, now see, math class we have used, this code will generate random numbers which are ranging from 0 to 255. Okay, refresh it, and btn clicked, what's happened? Let's write console.log btn clicked, refresh it. Oh, we didn't import, yeah, script we didn't added 02.js. Refresh it, console btn clicked, but why color is not changing? Console const dv math dot random, dv is there, yes, id dv is there. Okay, let us see what this thing is generating. A random color, let's have const rnd color, let us see this rnd color console.log rnd color 50. Yeah, color is getting generated, but why not getting applied? Math dot round. Okay, it doesn't make any difference. Or let's give a static color, blue. Yeah, the blue color is getting changed, right? Oh, I got it. So this color should be, if you remember, can you tell me RGBA, RGB, RGB, RGB? We need to write, and we need to generate the colors red, green, blue, and in the RGB we need to pass red, green, blue, right? This is how we set the color. If you remember the color model, how many of you remember the color model of CSS? Hello? We can set the color in three ways, either by named colors, RGBA, and hue saturation, HSA, right? See now, colors are getting dynamically created. If I change it, colors are changing dynamically. Actual use of, actual implementation of the JavaScript that we have studied, right? Hello? Changing the styles. Well, you can add or remove the classes also. Add or remove the classes in a same file. What I will do, paragraph, say lorem ipsum. Let me create the style app02.css, and I can say dot big and font size 3em. Okay. Font size what? 3em. Now let's try to, on the same button click, let's try to apply, say class, and I can say PR. So const PR, this variable name can be anything, and from here you can get that element PR, and PR dot add PR dot okay, PR is the element, Gemini, adding style dynamically in DOM, adding class dynamically, adding or removing class dynamically in DOM. Let us see what we are missing here. Document.get element by id. Okay, can you see class list? Class list. And class name property also. Element.class name property. Class name property. Let's try with the, yeah, class name is equals to big. First import the CSS, link rel CSS, app02.css. That is important. Refresh it. This is a paragraph. Okay, this is the PR. We have document.get element by id PR. Do we have id PR? Oh, class PR we have written. id PR. Refresh it. Can you see? Dynamically class is getting added. Now, if I click one more time, it should remove this. Now it's a pure logic. You need to maintain one variable. Let is big is equals to false. So here you need to check if is big is equals to toggle is big. Whatever existing value, just toggle it. Okay. Then what? If is big, if is big is true, then do this thing. Else pr dot we need to remove that class. Class list dot remove pr dot class list dot remove. Which class you need to remove? Big class you need to remove. Right? You are just toggling the value. Refresh it. It becomes big, it becomes small. Toggling. It becomes big, it becomes small. So for one thing we have used class name. It is like adding the class name. If is big is true, then add the class name. If is big become false, remove the class name. Toggle. What do you mean by not? Operators we have seen. If this is true, it will make false. If this is false, it will make true. And you have just written a business logic like this. Correct? Hello?
Yes,
Well, this is about today's session. Java or DOM. Here we can say adding elements, adding styles, and classes. The way we have added the element, in the same fashion we can remove the element also. The way we have added elements, in the same fashion we can remove the element also. Now what do you mean by removing element? Simply removing it. Removing means what? Okay, let's have one more button. Remove para. I want to remove the paragraph. And btn, here we can say rm para. One function we can write. const. Deliberately I am writing lambda over here so that you should get to know these two things are same, nothing fancy. rm para. So let's get access to the paragraph, right? And so you got the paragraph. Remember that paragraph is in this main, right? So let's get the access to the main also. id. Now see, another way is also there. We'll see that tomorrow actually. id and mn I can say. And here let's access this mn over here. Need of React const mn a document dot get element by id mn and mn dot, can you see, children or child nodes dot for each chld and console.log or just say ch child nodes inside mn. Whatever child nodes are there, all that child nodes you can print. And here btn para is there. Refresh it, go here, and can you see all the child nodes you will get? Text, text, text. This, can you see? All the things, all the child node, whatever is there in mn, everything you will get it over here, right? And you need to remove this para. So what you can do, everything, can you see, you have got all the elements in the main by means of child nodes. If it is the case, if you can do child.id, can you do something like this? Child.id, again refresh it and see, do we get any IDs? Yeah, can you see, you get dv. For few things there are no IDs, but for few things there are IDs. dv is the ID we have given. Can you see? This dv ID we have given. PR we have given. And this dv ID we have given. So here you just need to check. Now what you need to do, it's simple, a filter child.nodes dot child.nodes dot item. Here we can get the item. Either you can give the index, say third. So this is the item, and mn dot remove child. So third thing would be getting removed. Refresh it. I don't know what would be getting removed. Remove para. Yeah, that is the paragraph would be getting removed by means of index. Can you see? So you can make it generic for each for each, or here you can say mn dot child nodes dot for each item entries, right? Number and child node you will get, keys, values, right? Keys you will get, values you will get, and lot of. So you need to use these methods and get particular paragraph. And remove child is the main method I wanted to say. What is the main method over here? Remove child, correct? Append child we have seen, and this is the remove child. DOM removing child. Hello? Is that clear? So in the readme, adding new elements, removing elements, changing the styles or adding the styles and removing the styles. So these important things we have seen. Do not miss the sessions. These sessions are very important. After the DOM, we will immediately start with Node.js. I'm going to take a pause on front end. Or we'll see if we can cover the React also. I'll update you. Okay? That's it for the day. We'll meet tomorrow with some interesting things. Hello?
Sure, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.